Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Tiffany here, and it's the penultimate Solstice series that I have been doing with you for the last couple of weeks now, and I'm really excited. I feel like I want to bring you closer. Let me bring you closer. I'll put you back up there in a minute when we start the demo. But I'm really excited about what I'm going to share with you today. I'm so excited. I'm going to share with you how to do a reflect and reset summer solstice transformative tarot session. Wow, that's a mouthful. You know, my mentor said to me the other day, Tiffany, you have to tell people more about what you do. You know, it's important. So I'm going to start with a little run about how the way that I use tarot is maybe different to what you're thinking. And then I'll show it a little bit in action. I will say that today is probably the most predictive that I get. Okay, and you'll see what I mean when we do the session. Hi, Julia. Hi, Anne. Good to see you here. Okay, so you can try and, if you've got your tarot, you can try and follow it step by step. But to be honest, I think it's going to be pretty hard for you to do step by step. I think it's just a case of watching and learning, maybe taking down notes. So maybe a notebook and a pen would be better for you, and then you can apply it afterwards, or you can watch the replay and press pause at certain points. I think that would be a really good way to be able to follow, because I think on the live I'm just going to go too fast for you to really do it. Okay, so just a little intro to who I am before we get going. As I said, my mentor was saying I need to talk to people a bit more about how I use tarot, because tarot is a pretty misconceived thing. Okay, so I'm not a tarot reader. I used to be. What I am is an inner transformation specialist, and I specialize in helping intuitives tune back into who they are. Because if you're this way inclined, you are likely to be tuned into anything and everything but yourself. And so you'll know if that's happening, because you'll feel lost. You won't be connected to your needs and wants. And so some symptoms can come out of that are to do with self-care or over dramatic relationships, or not being able to communicate, or feeling rejected, or like you don't belong anywhere. And it's a very frustrating feeling of not being seen, heard, understood, or being able to get what you need or you want, because you don't even really maybe know it yourself, let alone be able to articulate it. And so what I do is I take you through a journey in the tarot, The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell. If you've ever heard of that, it is the journey in the tarot. It's the soul evolution. The cards in their own natural numerical order have the ascension of the soul mapped out. So I get you on your soul map and rewire it so that you can come from that place of being deeply in tune with who you are, because you're actually using your intuition as intuition rather than outtuition, i.e. I'm tuning out of myself into everyone else. Yes, and then we can get it going on. We can get everything going swimmingly around your purpose, around your relationships transform, because you transform your relationship to yourself, the divine, oh my God, and others. It transforms truly, because you're really transforming inside, so it lasts as well. Okay, that's what I do. And today I'm showing up because it is the solar eclipse solstice coming up on Sunday. So this is the penultimate series I've been doing, although I will be going live with you guys more, at least once a week, because I've really, really, really enjoyed it. So thank you, everyone that's been showing up and showing me your support. It's been fabulous, and I can't wait to show you how to do this transformative tarot solstice reset and reflect session, so you can kind of see a little bit of how different transformative tarot is to predictive tarot. Okay, as I said, this is probably as predictive as I get, so it's only going to give you a very small open door to transformative tarot, and I'll show you what I do that switches it up for transformative tarot and how the practices differ. Okay, so let's do it. Thank you, Julia. That's lovely. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Linda. Hi, Rowena. Good to see you here. Let's go. All right, as I said, you might find it a bit hard to, in fact, you'll probably find it impossible to follow along. Okay, so the best thing that you can do is probably take notes and come back to the replay. I need to push this back further so that you can see as much of my tarot parlor as possible. Okay, so let me bring this out here as well. Okay, so the best thing is to use two tarot decks, and you'll see why. I'll explain as we go on. If you don't have two decks, one is fine. If you don't have tarot, oracle is fine. It's better than nothing, but the best thing is two decks. Okay, so the first one I'm using is the Modern Witch Tarot, but you can use any one. It doesn't matter what deck it is, and you'll find that you probably would take different cards depending on the deck, because we're going to be working with the pictures. We're not going to be shuffling the first deck. We're going to be choosing the pictures. And so, you know, this deck I saw when I was looking at mine, I saw that I was choosing maybe slightly different cards than I would have done if I was using like the traditional Rider-Waite. It's fine, it's okay. Yeah, what we're going to do is basically what I call storytelling, which is a transformative tarot practice of mine, although it is of, I know lots of other tarot readers that practice storytelling, but I don't know whether it's the same way that I use it. Okay, so basically what you would be doing is you'd be going through the deck and selecting the pictures, one for each month of 2012. So I've already done this. I've gone through the deck and purposely selected the pictures. Okay, so I haven't shuffled any deck at all. I've looked at them and I've gone, yeah, this one feels like it pictures to me what happened in January. Okay, so for instance, here's what I did earlier. And in January, it's a bit dark. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to have to get some lighting, I think. So can you see this? In January, I chose the Queen of Cups. And I chose the Queen of Cups in this deck because she's on a beach. And that's where I was in January. I was in the Caribbean, in Mexico, on a gorgeous retreat with some of my lovely clients. And it was very small, very intimate, and incredibly connected with each other and with the energies of Mexico. It was just phenomenal. So it just felt like everything was going in a flow. It was like you had to let go completely, and then the divine just worked right the way through. So that was my card for January. I just looked at the picture and was like, that's me. That sums up how I felt in January. And that's all you're doing. And you put it at 9 o'clock, face up at 9 o'clock. Okay, so then I chose one for February, and one I chose for February was the Six of Wands, because I started a 0 to hero journey with lots of lovely people, and that's starting on Sunday, by the way, if you want to join it. And yeah, the energy was really building. It was feeling really, really, really cool. And then we all went to another retreat at the end of February and the beginning of March. And so I've chosen the 8 of Wands as a step up from the 6 of Wands, because it was like the energy was building, really, really building with us all. And it was beautiful, really, really gorgeous energy. It was fantastic. And then, boom, April happened, and it was time to open the doors to the next run of the Transformational Truth of Tarot, my signature program. And so those are the people that had been on the retreat and done 0 to hero with me said yes, they jumped at the chance, and they started TTT. And so that was just like boom, you know, that was just like, yeah, the power is here, it's happening. Sorry about the lights, really, they're up full. I'm going to get some more lighting, I think, because I'm going up a level with these lives. I've got some lovely AirPod Pros, you know, don't you know, for the first time. Okay, so then we get to May, and I chose the High Priest for May because it was all about anchoring down, helping people to learn to, you know, a lot of newbies in the TTT. It's a bit like being a mummy hen with lots of chicks in a nest. And so it was just a case of really having to nurture and get those things in place. Now I'm speaking, I'm feeling like maybe it should have been the Empress, but I felt like the High Priest in this deck is a woman, and so has that kind of empressy feel to it. And that's why I chose the High Priest rather than the Empress, for instance. What I was saying about different decks, go with the picture. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Okay, so then we go to June. What's June been like? Well, June, I've been a bit like this. I'm a bit like this now, aren't I? See what I mean? High Priestess behind her computer. So again, I may not have chosen the High Priestess had it not been this deck, right? I might have chosen something else, but this picture really spoke to me. So go with the pictures. So that's where I've been this month. Now what? Because we haven't got to the other months, right? So 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you are laying them down around anti-clockwise. Well, how do I feel like July is going to go? I feel like it's more kind of time of getting my head down, and I do just really want this time to get my head down and rework a lot of things. And so I've chosen this one here for the 8 of Pentacles from the Modern Witches Tarot, because that again encapsulates it. And then August, I really want to have done everything, because all of this has been a reflection time. I've noticed doing this already, that the first 3 months of 2020 were light, easy, flowing, and the last 3 months have been like heavy, going back, strengthening, rebuilding. But hey, lockdown is a perfect time to do that. So divine timing in that sense. So yeah, let's have lockdown done, shall we, by August. So now we're getting into intention setting. It's like looking ahead at what we want for our next 6 months and choosing the cards for what you want. So I've put the Hermit for August because they're like closing the computer. So that's why I've chosen the Hermit there, because it's like, okay, I've done it. You know, it's all ready to go. It's like a huge back-end job at the moment around restructuring courses and systems and getting ready for the next relaunch of TTT, which happens in the autumn. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. I haven't set the date yet, But yes, sometime in September, it should be time to like launch. Absolutely. So I've put the Ace of Wands there. And then sometime in October, there may well be some play dates going on. Another retreat in Cornwall, fingers crossed, and maybe even Spain. I know that the baths have opened up in Spain, the hammam that we go to in Granada, the best hammam in the world, and the Alhambra Palace opened back up yesterday. And so, you know, we're just feeling it all out for the next month and seeing if we can put an Astro Tarot Flamenco retreat on. Woo! Wouldn't that be awesome? Planned to go ahead around October time because it's got a very powerful High Priestess energy, Granada. Okay, so fingers crossed. Stay open for that, for the launch of TTT. And really, I just want a reflection. I want to see the community building and becoming whole and getting excited and going on the retreats together and signing up to TTT together, because that is the journey. You really feel part of the community. It's a real nurturing, blossoming community. So there's the Three of Cups there for November and the World there for like, it's done. Yeah, I've nailed it. It's done. I knew when I started this year, it was going to be hard work. I got the message from Spirit that this would be the most head down year of my life, and that actually, you know, next year, from next year onwards, there's always work, but it would be like I've cracked it. So this is also your intention card. So my intention card for 2020 is the Four of Wands. Yes, it's like a bit like this Eight of Pentacles. You know, she's building her craft here, and there's the city or the empire or the community out the window, and this here is like, yeah, it's actually here, and it's structured and it's boundaried and it's happy and it's great for everyone. So that is how you do the first part. All right, so the first 6 cards therefore are a review of your year. You're summing up your month in a picture, and a picture says 1,000 words. So you're just looking through the first deck and finding the picture. You don't need to know anything about tarot at all. And then the second half is you setting your intention going forward. So you're still looking at the pictures, but you're looking at what you want to happen for you and what your plan is for the next 6 months of 2020. Okay, it's very, very exciting and great to do, because it's a real reflect and reset, and it really helps to plug you in, back in, and give you a moment to take stock and think, okay, this is how it's been and this is how I want it to go. And already, you know, just me doing this now has really brought home, as I said, how light and easy and flowing the first 3 months of this year felt, and how much of hard work, heavy, hard going back over and back over and back over and back over things again and again and again and again, and strengthening them up and tightening them up and polishing them up and making sure it's all really perfected for everyone and things along those lines, just really getting there, has been the last 3 months, or will be the last 3 months. So it's been like 2 opposites. So it'll be interesting to see what the universe has to say on my last 6 months and my next 6 months and my intention for the year. So what you do is you then get a second deck, and you are shuffling this deck, and I am using the Osho Zen Tarot, because the Osho Zen Tarot feels to me like it's very divine. I mean, all tarot is divine. I'm not saying it very well, but it feels quite connected on a channeling level to the universe. And so I find that this one is particularly good for this type of exercise, but you can absolutely use any deck. And you can still use your same deck if you don't have 2 decks of tarot. It just means that you won't get the same card in the same place. So it is amazing to use 2 decks of tarot for this exercise, because you actually get to see sometimes the same cards come out in the same place. Okay, that one's flipped. Now, if a card flips, I take notice of it, but I put it back in the deck. So this is isolation. So the Osho Zen Tarot is a little bit different. So this is isolation, 3 of Swords. So I'm putting that back in the deck, okay? Because I don't need it out of the deck to know that it's flipped out. Again, you're giving it a chance to actually come out again, and that will give it more magic if you put it in the deck and it comes out again. So let's do this, okay? So I'm just going to lay a card for each of the months. And this is the universal perspective, okay? Obviously, when you're laying cards out, it's about your intention. Take a moment to just tune into the universe and ask for the universal perspective for the highest good of all, okay? All right, so this is the universal take on my take. So we get to compare my perspective of my story with the universe's perspective of my story. And this feels right for January, because I was in nature. Even though it was the Caribbean, I was in the heart of nature. We've got ordinariness there in Osho, which is the 8 of Pentacles. And I'm sorry if it's a little bit dark. But it's basically about coming down to earth and really feeling the elements. And I'm really getting that, like, it was such a nurturing, simple life. It was really about being there with the elements. And so I can see how that is there. 8 of Pentacles is interesting because it's so earthed, it's so grounded. It's like the universe kind of saying, I was probably more grounded than I felt. Queen of Cups is kind of quite at sea. And so there were quite a few challenges with getting that retreat up and running. And it left me feeling a little bit like I'd overstretched myself. Whereas here, getting the 8 of Pentacles is almost like the universe saying, no, it wasn't a mistake. It was divine timing. It was exactly as it was meant to be. And obviously, it's very easy for us to blame ourselves and thinking that we've made a mistake. But actually, this is how this session can actually neutralize anger, anxiety, blame, so many negative, toxic emotions just by doing this one realization, this one connection with the universe. Sorry, I have to take this off. I'm getting a little hot. So the next one is the 6 of Wands for February. And if you remember, I put that there because I was guiding a lot of people on a 0 to hero. Yes. So there was a lot of people on that 0 to hero run. I think it was probably the most successful one. And so I put the 6 of Wands there because it really felt like that. And Osho has put nothingness, which is actually the same card that I put for May, the Hierophant and teaching. Yes. So that makes sense. The Hierophant is a teacher. He is a spiritual teacher. Nothingness, it's a bit like, what's that about? But it's about holding space for someone. And so it feels like there was just this click. There was just this, yes, everything is come together perfectly. And then when that happened, boom, I was, on a roll. Everybody was just clicking. Everybody was just having an amazing time. Couldn't wait to start TTT. It was all beautiful, amazing, and flowing. And they are incredible souls, as always in TTT. The power of it is immense. And I just love how people really open up and shine and connect with each other in there. And so it's no wonder that Osho has given me the source, which looks like the sun, but it's actually the Ace of Wands. Interestingly, I put the Ace of Wands down for when TTT opens next time. So this is good to see. It's good to see that there's some connection going on. with the energy. It's like I want that energy back for the next launch, and it's like the universe going, do 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 do. You know what it feels like. You know when it's there, so you can do it. This is cool. Okay, and then so that was the energy of the retreat and everything building. The people on the journey from zero to hero were actually coming to the retreat, having an amazing time, then signing up to TTT. Boom, April, relaunch of TTT. The Magician was what I chose. And interestingly, I have no idea why the universe has given me the Outsider, which is the 5 of Pentacles. Although actually maybe I do. You see, TTT has always been open. It's been ongoing and the doors have been open. But actually in April, I shut it. And the people that came on this time are doing a live run with me because I am rebooting all the content. And I'm bringing in everything I've learned from so many years of doing this work, because this year I've got incredibly clear on who I am. And it's like a culmination of everything, hence all the hard work of putting it in here, which I was talking about. So that's what's going on. That's what I'm doing. So I've had to actually shut the gates to TTT to do that massive sacred rework with everyone. And yeah, so that's probably why the Outsider, because it's like, in a way, I'm closed for business, you know, in a way. So that's what's, I think, we've got going on there. And the Hierophant was what I put down for the next month, which is January, February, March, April, May. So May is at 5 o'clock, yes. And it's basically showing here that it gave me turning inwards, which is the 4 of Cups, which makes sense. This is lockdown. This is where I've been going back over everything. This is where I'm having to dig really, really, really deep, very deep. So that makes complete sense. So far, I'm feeling like I've been quite aligned with the universe. You know, the way that I've seen my year, it's like the universe feels, it's like it's agreeing. It's like, yep, we're with you. You're bang on. You're seeing it. That is how it's been happening, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, okay, I am connected. It is cool. And it's an amazing feeling to get that. So then what I've got here, the High Priestess, is where we're at now, June. And it's like I'm just doing so much on the computer, but it's amazing how much my intuition is taking off. Actually, I'm really tuned in, especially to the TTT community. I can feel what's going to happen before it happens and how to guide them. But it's taking a lot of vulnerability. It's taking for me to step up and be quite a vulnerable, daring leader. So I'm reading Brené Brown's Dare to Lead book at the moment, which is all about finding the courage. So is it any surprise that the universe has given me courage here? Yes? No, I don't think so. Yeah. Right, so now we're getting into the forward part, the last half of your year. Yeah, so for instance, for July, I was like, right, I just want the space to get my head down, dot the I's, cross the T's, get it all signed off, get it all ready. And the universe gave me Existence, which is basically the Magician. Okay, so it's like, yep, you're actually going to be starting. You're actually going to be relaunching. You'll be ready to get it out there next month. Amazing. Awesome. I like the sound of that. And then the Hermit is what I put for August, because it was like, yeah, now I want to be done. I want to be done by August. And the universe is like, darling, you're going to be flowering in August. Because it's given me flowering, which is the Queen of Pentacles. And so she's like the mini empress, and it's like, yay, it's just all blossoming, that easy flow back. Okay. And so then I was like, and by sorry, that was July, that was August. By September, yeah, I want to be open then. You know, it's like it gave me October, it's given that for me in July. So it's like saying I'm not as far away as I think I am. And interestingly enough, it's given me the 2 of Wands above the Ace of Wands. So again, it's possibilities, but it's the 2 of Wands. Again, it's like saying I'm a step further. Actually, universe is like, come on, Tiff, you're actually further ahead than you think you are. Yeah. Interestingly enough, it then goes to the 3 of Wands. So we've got Ace of Wands, 2 of Wands. In October, I put the 3 of Wands for where I want it to be. Interesting that 1, 2, 3. Interestingly, it's given me fighting. I'm not quite sure why it's given me fighting. Fighting is the Knight of Swords, which is about having the courage of your convictions. So it may well be that I have to, again, be quite courageous, maybe with daring to put retreats or events back on at that time. Then we're back at the 3 again. I put 3 for November because I wanted people to come together for retreats, for TTT, to get that amazing, awesome feeling of community happening again with the next opening of the gates of TTT. So we've got the 3 of Cups there, and that's what I put, and the universe put success, the 6 of Wands. So that feels amazing too. The final card that I put for the year was the World, because I just want the hard work. Obviously, it's always hard work, but I just really feel like this year has been the year of me getting crystal clear on what I'm doing and the need to just redo it all, really. Not redo it all, but it's like go up a huge level of what I'm delivering and how I'm delivering it. And so I really want to be celebrating that as a done completion at the end of the year. So I've put World, and I really want the community coming together, TTT being the community. It's just amazing. I just really want it to find its place in the world that it deserves, because it is an incredible program and community. It has the power to attract such incredible souls, and then they're all together in this place where they just the connection to themselves, to each other, to the universe. It's divine. So I just want to get past all my own crap that has kind of kept it back, and that's what this year is about for me. So politics I've got there, but who knows how it will play out. It's good to write this in your diary month by month, and so then you have like a reminder of what you wanted for the month with your picture and what the universe's picture was for you of the month. Don't forget the one in the middle. That is your overview. So I put the 4 of Wands, remember, because I want to have some very clear, strong pillars. That's what I'm doing. I'm laying the foundations and the pillars to actually, really hold space powerfully for people to go through their transformation and have beautiful relationships and success in their life. And the universe gave me inner voice, of course, which is the High Priestess, which was my one for this month, which the universe gave me courage to be. And as I said, it feels like my intuition is pretty off the wall at the moment. And so that makes huge, huge sense. You'll need to watch this back on the replay. I would suggest pausing it and doing it step by step as you go along, and then getting your diary and writing down from January, what the cards were all the way through your month. So January, I'd write down Queen of Cups, ordinariness, February, I'd write down 6 of Wands, nothingness, all the way, right the way through to December. And that is how you do a summer solstice reset and reflect and reset session. Okay, if you're getting the tears towards with it, or if you want me to do it for you, I will. You have to pay me, of course, but I will do it for you. I don't often open my tarot parlor these days because my passion is in building the community of TTT, because it is so phenomenal with the healing that it does. So my passion is in helping others to actually tune their intuition back into themselves rather than be in a place of out-tuition, which I feel going for readings or having prediction can have that effect. And so it's kind of not in total alignment with what I do these days, although the way that I actually do work with tarot, I will stand for, because that is part of the TTT community. We will do it in a transformative way to help you tune in to your intuition rather than you hook on readings in an out-tuitive, which is kind of like an obsessive, anxious kind of way of being. So it's not often I do it, and I am doing it. I'm opening my doors. So if you want to book in with me for me to do this for you, just let me know. Just put a comment, say that you want a solstice session with me. I'll get you the link. And if you want to join for the rerun of Zero to Hero, which is happening on Sunday, then put Zero to Hero in the comments and I'll get you the link for that too. Okay, any questions? Let me just move back here to do your questions. Oh, and tomorrow I'll be doing something with you where you get to see your soul map through astrology and tarot. That is quite complex. So you'll definitely need the replay and the pause button for that one. Okay, let's see. Any questions? Janet says, is this about using archetypes for disciplined, intuitive structuring and a kind of subconscious implanting? Missed the beginning, thank you. Yes, it's about tuning into the energies of your story, and when you're laying the cards out with the ones that you've selected purposely, it's about you communicating to the universe and saying, this is how I feel the last 6 months have been for me. This is how I would like the next 6 months to be, or how I feel they will be, but also how I'd like them to be. So you don't want to be putting cards down there that is like, I feel like I'm going to be homeless or anything like that. It's about setting the intention of how you want things to be, but you're also feeling into that flow. And then when you shuffle the cards and you lay the next round, it's like the universe replying to you about, yeah, okay, well, this is how it's been. This is the bigger picture, yes, for how it's been and how it's looking going forward. Yeah. Presume can do the same for ourselves too. Exactly. Yeah. Intentions. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So, do you need to believe in the second part? What a great question. Or can they be hopes? Well, it's kind of what I've just said. Or can they be hopes and hope for you to believe in? Yes. So I think I just naturally answered that, actually, in terms of saying, you know, you don't want to be putting down your fears. It's about opening to who you want to be. It's about opening to who you're becoming. Yes, which is really important, as it says over the Temple of Delphi, know thyself. But not a lot of people know that actually there's a second part to that inscription, which is, and know who you're becoming. And so it's a very powerful exercise to do from that place. Like, who are you becoming? If that makes sense. Hi, Facebook user from Australia. Sorry, I don't know your name. As you can see, I've put your message up here so you can tell that I don't know your name, but hi. The reason I don't know your name is because you haven't registered with StreamYard. That's totally fine. In fact, it can be a perk if you want to remain anonymous. Otherwise, you can just let me know your name in your comments when you sign them off. So Abby says, can you read for me, please? So I will get you the link for the solstice reading. As I said, I don't often do this, but when I open my doors now. I'm very strict. You can't just come and have a reading whenever you like on whatever you like. If you want your solstice reset and reflect, then yes, I can read for you. I have 6 places available over the next 2 weeks. So I'm not going to assume that's what you want, Abby. So I'm just clarifying, because if it's just a normal reading, it's not really what I do. This is transformative tarot. It is as predictive as I get. There is an element of prediction with this one because we're looking forward, but it's not like I will do predictive readings as you might be expecting them to be. I'll put the link in. You can tell me whether you, well, you can tell me by booking or not, whether you want it or not. Thank you, Abby, for asking. Okay. Da, da, da. No, it doesn't have to be done on Sunday. It can be done any time of the year, but it's just a good time to stop, reset, reflect and reset. Yes. So it doesn't have to be on the summer solstice. It doesn't have to be on the winter solstice. It doesn't have to be on New Year's Day. You can start whatever month you want. You could do it on your birthday. And see your, you know, your next cycle coming forward. So anytime you want, really, anytime that you decide is important for you. Yeah. Okay, I did answer it. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Janet. That's brilliant. So Anne says, I only have 1 deck. I could use Goddess cards as my second deck. You could, yeah. I mean, you'll still get the universal perspective. If I were you, Anne, but I am not you. But like, I'm just thinking, if it was me with 1 deck, I would just use 1 deck, because I would be able to tell on the second round how similar the cards were to the ones that I had just laid out. And so I probably would actually recommend that you just stick with 1 tarot deck, because you're likely, yeah, I reckon you can see. I reckon whatever level you're at, you'll be able to see some level of connection. So for instance, if I put the Ace of Wands out and then went round the second time and the universe put the 2 of Wands out, yes, you'd be able to see that there's a connection. But if you used tarot and an oracle or goddess deck, it's like one's tarot, one's oracle. It's like there's not much connection. So I would just stick with your 1 tarot deck, if that makes sense. Yeah? Good idea, Anne. Anne's got a good idea for those of you that only have 1 deck. That she has said maybe she could take a photo of the first deck and then use the deck again. Yeah, absolutely. And put the photo in the middle as, I guess that would be on your phone these days or your iPad or something, but it's just like the intention, the energy being there somehow when you lay down the second one, I think would have more power. Okay. Yeah, great. Brilliant. Excellent. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow for the grand finale, which is a lot more complex. And so you will have to look at the replay again and again and again. And if you want the link for me to do a solstice reflect and reset, just say solstice. And if you want the link for 0 to hero, say 0 to hero. And that's it for now. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Oh, hello, Jilly. Lovely. Ah, so Facebook user was Jilly Bean, who's an amazing musician. And do check her out. She's incredible. And says that she's looking forward to sitting this on Sunday. Yes, the replay will stay up here, so you can put it in your saved videos, and then if you need it, you can check back and do it as you go along, pausing and things along those lines. Okay, take care. Lots of love to you all. Thank you for being here. Bye, Vivian. Thank you, Rowena. Thank you, Anne. Bye, everyone.